Well, hello again, welcome back. Today I'm reviewing one of the new cigars from one of my favorite cigar companies. This is from the Pepins and the My Father Cigar Factory. This is the Flor de las Antillas Toro size 6x52 box pressed. In fact, this is the first cigar that Pepin has made in a box press fashion. Of course, all of his cigars are triple caps. Make sure you can get that there. And the band is quite ornate. Of course, I always say no matter how pretty a band is, you don't smoke the band. At least I don't. I have burned a few trying to nub out a few cigars. Distinctive red band around the foot. The cigar is a dark brown in color. It is it's all Nicaraguan. It's a Nicaraguan sun-grown red around Nicaraguan binder and Nicaraguan filler, and that's about all I know about those other ingredients. This is a departure for Pepin in two ways: the box pressed and the strength. This cigar was designed to be medium bodied. It's sort of it's not a test, but it is a change for them because most of their cigars are full bodied. Definitely, I'm sure like this one should be full flavored, but it's designed to be medium bodied. So they're going after the medium bodied market. So that being said, that's the background, and now it's time to sample it. Well, of course, the very first thing we need to do is remove this little red band around the foot. Then let's take off as little as we can here. Slightly firm test draw. There's what I took off at an angle, mind you. You know, you can do that because what it'll do is divert the smoke downward. Sometimes I'll cut it at more of a pronounced angle, and you can either shift it up or down. Okay, let's try this out. Remember, we're expecting it to be medium bodied. Nothing medium about the pepper though. Pepper is very intense, very nice. There are citrus notes there. I would put them in the orange category. I get a lot of flack. Well, I get some flack from some viewers about my description of citrus. I make no apologies. It has citrus flavor. If you've ever eaten oranges or grapefruits, that flavor is in some Nicaraguan cigars. And I would venture to say that others will agree. There'll always be someone that'll disagree with anything, but hey, whatever. I'm getting wood. Huh. Sounded funny. The notes. Pepper, very intense pepper. Woo. Orange citrus. Wood notes. And I'll leave it there for now. That's how we're starting out. The It does taste medium bodied right now, but very good start. So let's let it sit for just a minute or two, and I'll be right back with the Flor de las Antillas Toro by my father. About a half inch in, and the flavor has not changed a lot, but I will give you a little update. There is still a little of that citrus note, but it seems to have changed. This is what it's done. Instead of an orange, started out orange and had a little hint of sweetness. Now it's more of that grapefruit citrus that I'm known for, but it's combining with cedar. There is cedar there, and the grapefruit gives it a twang. Okay? There is still a lot of pepper. There are touches of leather with that wood, with those wood notes on the front end also. Now the finish is a very sweet cream, which is about on par with the Nicaraguan type cigars, and there's a touch of lingering pepper, actually not that much. Flor de las Antillas actually means flower of the Antilles, and that's referring to Cuba being the largest island in the greater Antilles. So there you have it, a geography lesson and a cigar review all in one. I shall be back at about the 3/4 point. That's where we stand. Let's see what happens next. Well, as you can see, I'm just a bit further. I guess you'd call it the 1-inch point, maybe just a tad over. And one interesting thing has happened. The first flavor you get now is cream, and I'll tell you exactly when you get it and how you get it. When you take the smoke in and you start to expel it through the nose, and you get a lot more flavor that way, the first flavor you get is cream. Now it quickly changes to the grapefruit citrus combining with the cedar, combining with the intense pepper, the leather notes, the wood notes, all those follow the cream. You get cream and then it goes away, it goes right into the other notes. Try it. Now, that's the only big change. Everything else is about the same. So it was worth pointing out because at the 1-inch point, that's what happened. That's what I found. So we'll be venturing onward to see what happens next. Okay, about 2.5 inches in, and while I am still satisfied with my flavor assessment, I must say the leather notes have gotten to be much more intense. When they come in, and they usually come in third, because at first you get that little puff of cream, then your grapefruit, and then your cedar, which now is more intense also. Then comes the leather. It's very intense. It's very leathery. No way to hide it or mistake it. So that is really the only change, and not a very significant one, but it is a change. So it is quite intense. So the finish, still more of a cream with a few toasted notes, possibly some of those leather notes creeping over. And the finish is actually on the short range. You have it and then it pretty much goes away. So it's not a long finish, it's a short finish. Not a lot of lingering pepper still, not much at all on the finish. So that's where we are, 2.5 inches in. Flor de las Antillas. Well, we got a couple inches left. One thing I haven't talked much about is the burn on this cigar. Now that is the actual burn. You can tell from the ash, it was very even when I dropped the last ash, and look at that. Very even burn, very even. The cedar notes are much more prominent now. The leather is still as prominent as it was before. It is a very strong third flavor, if you will. The leather is very intense, and you still have those wood notes combining with that leather. Those two make a very deep, dark noted cigar. The cigar is still medium bodied, but it's at the far ranges of a medium. It's right up there with medium to full. So that's about it. Change wise, more cedar, less citrus, just the same, more leather and wood. The pepper is still very intense. That's it. That's where we are. So maybe inch and a half, closer to 2 inches left. We'll be back to wrap it up here shortly. Well, we are pretty much here at the end, so I'm going to wrap it up. Here at the end, the leather notes became the primary main flavor you get. Now the cedar is still there, possibly hints of that citrus, but it's pretty much gone away. The pepper remained very good, and there were some of those wood notes combining with that leather still, but you get a lot of leather. Finish remained about the same. The cigar ended up in the medium to full range. I'll classify it as medium, but it's very high medium. The cigar never achieved any richness, which for me is something I look for in a very good cigar. This is very different for the Pepins. It had a lot of Pepin-like flavors, but it did not have the full bodiedness that the others have. And some of their other cigars have a lot more richness to them. And as I said before, I like that. And if it doesn't have it, I tend to score it a little lower. In this case, that's the way it'll be. This cigar for me winds up for a score of 88. Very good, but not great. It is a good cigar, and I appreciate the opportunity to review it. I picked up these online, so you can probably find these in shops now. Should be around and available, so try for yourself. See if you agree. See if my flavor assessment matches yours. But be that as it may, the Flor de las Antillas Toro by my father, 88.